Hey, yeah, home, day 275, I guess. Yeah, yeah, we're going forward. Ja, we're going forward and cutting the video. Ja, es ist so leicht. Ja, hey, home, ja, hey, ja, home, ja, home, ja, hey, ja, home. Hey, ja, hey, ja, hey, ja, 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 hey, ja, home. Hey, ja, hey, ja, home. Hey, ja, hey, ja, home, ja, hey. Hey, hey, ja, hey, ja, hey. Du Pellicate, aspect ratio, ja, hey. Can you please make this loud? Ja, hey. Es ist so leicht, so fun und so easy. Ja, hey, ja, hey. Oh, I just need to turn up. Turn up.
A jiu-jitsu practitioner or an MMA fighter and you struggle with either... Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner or an MMA fighter and you struggle with either getting your takedowns in or you struggle with being taken down a lot? Well, my name is Florian. I'm today here with Mr. Tony D'Souza of the UFC record of 3-3 and we're going to demonstrate to you today basic stance.
Hey, yeah. Ist there no sound oder was ist hier nur los? Ja. Mann, was ist hier los, Bruder? Ist hier kein Sound drin oder was? Oder wer? Ja, hey.
Wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner or an MMA fighter and you struggle with either getting your takedowns in or you struggle with being taken down a lot? Well, my name is Florian. I'm today here with Mr. Tony D'Souza of the UFC record of 3-3 and we're going to demonstrate to you today basic stance. Basic stance. So you could either defend or attack. Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, or an MMA fighter and you struggle with either getting your takedowns in or you struggle with being taken down a lot? Well, my name is Florian. I'm today here with Mr. Tony D'Souza. My name is Florian. Taken down a lot. Well, my name is Florian. Down a lot. Well, I'm today here with Mr. Tony D'Souza of the UFC record of 3-3 and we're going to demonstrate to you today basic stance. Basic stance. So.
Hey, yeah, oh, hey, yeah,
Basic. The thing of a stance is that I want stance
foot. A sugar foot and basic thing, whether it be a square stance, whether it basic thing, whether it be a square stance or a sugar foot stance, that I don't want my shoulder to be in front of my knee. Because then I don't have enough base. I don't have enough base. It's all about base. It's all about base. It's all about moving with base. So I'm here, square stance, shoulder foot on the other. And you can see I'm keeping my hand right here because I want to have a base. So if the person snaps me down or anything, or if the person wants to attack my leg, from right here is where it all begins. Where it all begins. From right begins.
Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, or an MMA fighter, and you struggle with either getting your takedowns in, or you struggle with being taken down a lot? Well, I'm today here with Mr. Tony D'Souza of the UFC record of 3-3, and we're going to demonstrate to you today basic stance.
Walk my arm forward. I don't want them spaced out. Spaced out. Difference. Spaced out. Spaced out. Two different stance. Square stance or a sugar foot stance. If I'm just defending, I usually go with the square stance. If I'm attacking, I'll sugar foot. Basic thing, whether it be a square stance or a sugar foot stance, I don't want my shoulder to be in front of my knee. I don't have enough base. It's all about base. It's all about moving with base. So I'm here, square stance, shoulder foot on the other. And you can see I'm keeping my hand right here because a base. So if the person snaps me down or anything, or if the person wants to attack my leg, from right here is where it all begins. Where it all begins. It all begins.
Are you?
Where it all begins.
Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, or an MMA fighter, and you struggle with either getting your takedowns in, or you struggle with being taken down a lot? Well, I'm today here with Mr. Tony D'Souza of the UFC record of 3-3, and we're going to demonstrate to you today basic stance.
Stance. Walk my arms forward. Stance.
Basic stance.
Stance.
Basic stance. Basic stance. Basic stance.
Stance.
Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, or an MMA fighter, and you struggle with either?
Go with the square stance. If I'm attacking, I'll sugarfoot. If I'm attacking,
Stance.
if I'm attacking, stance. I want to have a base. So if the person wants to attack my leg, or if the person wants to attack my leg, from right here is where it all begins. Right here is where it all begins.
Basic stance.
Stance. If I'm attacking, right here is where it all begins. Here is where
Basic stance.
stance. If I'm attacking, right here is where it all begins. Here is where it all begins.
Basic stance.
Stance. If I'm
Hey ya 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 oh me ya oh hey ya him ya hey.
Basic stance.
Stance. If I'm attacking, right here is where it all begins.
Are you a
Hey ya hey me ya oh me ya oh.
basic stance?
Stance. If I'm attacking, right here is where it all begins. Right here is where it all begins.
Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner? Basic stance.
Stance. If I'm attacking, right here is where it all begins.
Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, or an MMA fighter, and you struggle with either getting your takedowns in, or you struggle with being taken down a lot? Well, I'm today here with Mr. Tony D'Souza of a UFC record of 3-3, and we're going to demonstrate to you today basic stance.
Stance. Walk my arms forward. I don't want them spaced out. Two different stance. Square stance or a sugar foot stance. If I'm just defending, I usually go with the square stance. If I'm attacking, I'll sugar foot. Basic thing, whether it be a square stance or a sugar foot stance, I don't want my shoulder to be in front of my knee. I don't have enough base. It's all about base. It's all about moving with base. So I'm here, square stance, shoulder foot on the other. And you can see I'm keeping my hand right here because
It's good. And I'm gonna cut my
I
video
want to
as
have
well.
a base. So if the person snaps me down or anything, person snap. If the person snaps me down or anything, or if the person wants to attack my leg, from right here is where it all begins. Where it all begins. From right here is where it all begins.
Basic stance.
Stance. If I'm attacking, right here is where it all begins.
Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, or an MMA fighter, and you struggle with either getting your takedowns in, or you struggle with being taken down a lot? Well, I'm today here with Mr. Tony D'Souza of a UFC record of 3-3, and we're going to demonstrate to you today basic stance.
Stance. Walk my arms forward. I don't want them spaced out. Two different stance. Square stance or a sugar foot stance. If I'm just defending, I usually go with the square stance. If I'm attacking, I'll sugar foot. Basic thing, whether it be a square stance or a sugar foot stance, I don't want my shoulder to be in front of my knee. I don't have enough base. It's all about base. It's all about moving with base. So I'm here, square stance, shoulder foot on the other. And you can see I'm keeping my hand right here because I want to have a base. So if the person snaps me down or anything, or if the person wants to attack my leg, from right here is where it all begins.
Hey ya ya hey me ya ya yo me ya 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 watching my intros, making my content, yahoo hey yahoo, getting clients. Ya 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 Yahim, Yahuim, Yahum, Yahim. Hey, Yahum, Yahuim, Yahim, Yahweh. Hey, Yahum, Yahim. Hey, Yahum, Yahum.
Stance. If I'm attacking, right here is where it all begins.
Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, or an MMA fighter, and you struggle with either getting
Stance.
basic stance?
If I'm attacking, right here is
Hey, Yahum.
Basic stance.
If I'm attacking, right here is where it all begins.
Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner? Basic stance.
If I'm attacking, right here is where it all begins.
Hey, Yahum, Yahim, Yahim, Yahim.
Basic stance.
If I'm attacking, right here is where it all begins.
Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, or an MMA fighter, and you struggle with either getting your takedowns in, or you struggle with being taken down a lot? Well, I'm today here with Mr. Tony D'Souza with the UFC record of 3-3, and we're going to demonstrate to you today basic stance.
Walk my arm forward. I don't want them spaced out. Two different stance. Square stance.
Hey, Yahum. Hey, Yahum.
Square stance or a sugar foot stance. If I'm just defending, two different stance. Square stance.
Hey, Yahum,
Different stance. My arm forward. I don't want them spaced out. Two different stance. Square stance or a sugar foot stance. If I'm just defending, I usually go.
Hey, Yahum, Yahweh.
If I'm just defending.
Alright, cool. So let's look at it one more time and then we go.
Basic stance.
If I'm attacking, right here is where it all begins.
Are you a wrestler, a jiu-jitsu practitioner, or an MMA fighter, and you struggle with either getting your takedowns in, or you struggle with being taken down a lot? Well, I'm today here with Mr. Tony D'Souza with the UFC record of 3-3, and we're going to demonstrate to you today basic stance.
Walk my arm forward. I don't want them spaced out. Two different stance. Square stance or a sugar foot stance. If I'm just defending, I usually go with the square stance.
Cool, alright, cool. That's enough. And now, before we are talking to our good friend Josephine at 9:30, we are going to edit some more of my own videos. Es ist so leicht, Yahweh, Yahweh.
Brother, very important life advice. If you plant your seed from down here, up here, you can manifest. We are growing our own food. That's been a plan for a long time. Now we manifest that. Let us
Show you how. Let me show you how that's done, my friend. Yahweh.
As you begin to live constructive lives instead of destructive.
Hey.
As you begin to live constructive lives instead of destructive lives, you start to create things like this. Create farming, create new ways of developing agriculture, things like that. Things that you wouldn't even think of if you were still living in destruction. When you start to live in construction, you start to really cherish these seeds. And you start to plant the seeds that are in your mind.
Hey ya hey me ya ho me ya ya hey hey ya hey ya overlay 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 overlay. Yes, I am manifesting this life of my dreams. Es ist so leicht, so fun and easy. Ya ho yo hey hey ya hey hey ya ya hey me ya ya massive content. Ya hey me ya hey. Hey ya oh me ya ya oh ya hey me ya ya hey ya oh hey ya oh hey ya oh ya hey ya oh hey ya hey me ya oh me ya oh hey ya oh me ya ya hey hey ya ya hey me hey ya ya oh me ya ya me ya oh hey ya oh yo hey ya oh me ya hey me ya oh hey. I am so proud and happy of my progress every day. I am making progress with my YouTube channel every day. Ya oh yo hey ya oh ya hey hey ya oh me ya oh hey hey ya oh me ya oh me ya hey ya me ya oh hey ya oh me ya oh hey hey ya oh me ya oh me ya hey ya oh hey ya oh me ya oh hey ya oh me ya oh hey ya oh hey ya oh me ya oh me ya oh me ya hey ya hey ya oh me ya oh. The first videos ya hey oh me ya oh making good content Yahweh. I am making amazing content Yahweh. Yahweh me Yahweh. Hey Yahweh. Hey Yahweh me Yahweh. Hey Yahweh me Yahweh. Hey Yahweh me Yahweh. Hey Yahweh. Hey ya oh hey ya hey oh hey ya oh me ya hey ya hey ya hey ya oh hey ya oh hey ya oh ya hey ya oh ya oh hey hey ya oh me ya oh me ya oh me ya hey ya me ya oh me ya oh Yahoo, hey Yahoo, me Yahoo, me Yahoo, me Yahoo, hey Yahoo, me Yahoo, me Yahoo, hey Yahoo, me Yahoo, me Yahoo. Let's take a look, let's watch the video of my bro that he has uploaded to YouTube. Yahweh, es ist so leicht, so fun and easy. Yahweh, 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 hey, Yahweh, 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 hey, Yahweh, Yahweh. Hey, let's take a look, let's take a listen into my bro's YouTube channel. Yahweh, Yahoo, Yahoo, Yahweh, hey, Yahweh, me Yahoo, me Yahweh, hey, Yahoo, me Yahweh, hey, Yahoo. Hey me Yahoo, hey Yahoo, me
As you begin to live constructive life instead of destructive life, you start
Hey ya oh me ya 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 him ya oh me ya way. Hey ya oh me ya ya oh me ya way.
Message is for the American man. What up? This message is for the American man in 2025. It's really an interesting time to be a man up there in the United States. I left there a number of years ago, and I've lived in Peru for the last 4 years, boosting my testosterone, getting my health back, found a good woman to be with, a very feminine woman who, has helped me to grow strong. And I'm not really here to talk about myself, but more about what I see and some of the issues that I see with America and just kind of where things have gone, and that men have really lost touch with what it even feels like to be a man. And maybe you get angry, or maybe we think it's okay now to be super emotional and be kind of like women. And now women, what I've seen, have kind of really taken the role in so many ways and are leading. Is that a bad thing? Is this that's up for debate? I would ask the women, an honest, if they had a real honest one-on-one discussion about that, whether they feel like they like being in control and in power and stuff like that. I don't think so. I think that I just don't think that's the natural way of things. At least right now in this time period where we're in, and maybe if you look at history, it's been that way. If you believe in the afterlife or reincarnation, maybe the next time you can be one. So that's why I don't think just live your life right now, the one that you're in right now. But my heart kind of goes out though, because I've noticed that a lot of men are just really struggling with that and that identity, and they think that it's not allowed to be disagreeable. You're not allowed to kind of go against what maybe a woman is saying or doing, and you saying things in public or whatever, or around groups of people and friends who you don't want to say the wrong thing because you don't want to be that guy that isolates, that's isolated out. But the thing is though, you're never gonna really feel like a man though if you're never disagreeing, if you're always just kind of going with the flow and everybody likes you and you're trying to be liked and you don't want to step on anybody's toes. I was kind of like that a lot before I moved to Peru, and in some ways it depends, right? I felt like I was always attracting people who I just kind of I felt like I needed to be something to be their friend, and I had to be fit in a certain role, or I grew up helping people a lot, helping people in my family and stuff too much, I was kind of I need to do actions in order to get friendship or love and respect and stuff like that, and that really weakened me in so many ways, and so I had to rediscover that and find that in Peru, and every day it's like a survival here. It's like a survival mechanism going on here. So, you have to learn how to become strong, or you're just going to lose a lot in life. You're going to get trampled on. And, that's a good thing for me. Forever? No. But, is that the answer? I'm not saying that's the answer either. But I'm just saying, in general, men I've seen in America have really, a lot of them, not everybody, but a lot have just gone this kind of weak path. And, that's something I feel like right now in these next years there's an opportunity to really, step into that. I feel like now men can sort of be empowered again, and let's see how that goes. Let's not screw it up. If there is going to be more political change and more opportunity, to get into political power in California and these places that are suffering because of a lot of these policies and stuff, it's really up to us men to now take the lead and don't just weaken out, don't chicken out, and just think that somebody else is going to do it, and hey, I want to be liked. That's something huge that I learned. I don't care about being liked anymore so much. Of course, it's nice. Of course, you want people to like you and stuff. But there's kind of a difference between being liked by people who just don't even deserve your attention, or just being the lion. You think the lion wants to be liked by the hyenas and wants to even be liked by his, the women and stuff, in some ways, you know what I mean? Because it's you trying to please everybody and you trying to fit into this thing that you're not, trying to be this thing, you're going to suffer. And guess what? Everybody else around you eventually is going to suffer because of that, because you are not stepping up into the person that you need to be, and that takes, I don't know how to explain it. It's not an easy path, but it's once you start going down that path, then it becomes easier. It becomes more doable. And you're like, you know, you might be looking up like, this looks like a crazy mountain. I'm supposed to look because I feel so weak. You know, I feel so pathetic, or you know, like I just feel like, you know, everybody's just pushing me around or whatever. If that's you, that might not be you. You know, you might be doing okay. You just need a little extra boost. But a lot of men, I feel like, do feel that way, and they're not living up to the true potential. So they then following into the whole societal ideology of, you know, hey, it's okay to just cry on my wife's shoulder, cry, you know, and just like be this super ultra sensitive, ultra emotional, fluid, flowing, whatever. Like that stuff is super dangerous, I think. For I mean, because look, these guys in Russia, that is such a dominant masculine society. I'm not saying that's the answer either. I want women to be able to feel do what they want to do in life as well, you know, like if they want to be business women, I'm like, great, you know, I think that's awesome. But I'm just saying in general, like, you know, like Russia, those guys are strong and stuff, businessmen and political, and it's like, dude, if we ever went to war, you know, like that's something to consider, you know, and it's like in America, there's the luxury of kind of being kind of soft and stuff like that, but it's like, that's kind of dangerous is all I'm saying. And I'm saying just to American men, this message is to American men specifically, younger men, 20s, 30s, you know, just to start to remember that about yourself. Remember that you have this power that is waiting to be awakened. And if that means you gotta quit your job, save up some money, and do what I did and fly down to South America into the jungle and put yourself into completely uncomfortable, difficult situations to make you grow, then that's what you gotta do, you know. That's why I think a lot of men who, you know, not comparing that to war or anything, but like in some of those men who come in, they are strong and they are tough, and it's like, you know, there's something to be said about that, something amazing to be said about that. But you know, for me it was a lot different. I kind of had to just get out of that comfortability, and I was just keeping me stuck and keeping me like in a prison, really. So yeah, that's all. I haven't made a video in a while. I'm going in a different direction with the channel that I want it to be more natural and more pure and just more like, you know, helping people who just feel like outcasts in society. They don't feel like they fit into anything, and they are now trying to find their way back home, which is in their heart, you know, and connecting that masculinity, that true masculinity into integrating in your life, and not just forfeiting and giving in to what everybody else is saying, and having enough balls to disagree and say, no, that's wrong. You know, I don't care if I'm not going to get the likes that everybody wants by saying this. That's something that, you know, I've had to learn and am learning more. And you can go super far in the other direction, go very rigid, and you start to empower yourself with that. And you can find a balance with that. You don't have to say start disagreeing with everybody out of everything all the time, and you're a pain in the butt. But what I'm saying is, you know, I feel like a lot of men we need to really, especially in America, it's time to stand up. This is your opportunity now. Now that things are changing, now it's kind of okay to be a man again and do that. Dude, don't let that go. Don't let the BS, don't let with the last freaking how many years, really, it's been 15 years almost of just this. So a lot of us grew up in this. So that's what I'm saying. Take your power back, become strong again, become the man that, you know, you feel like you do need to become. In this world, and step into that. And if you want to know more about that, keep following this channel and comment, and we can get together more in a group, start a group setting, and start talking about these things and how we can implement this. So if you're interested in that, comment down below, and we'll get a group going. I did have a group, but I had to take it off for a little bit because I just am revamping everything. So all right, you guys, take care. Peace. Have a good one.
Very, very good. All right.
Can you talk a little bit about the payoff? Because I think when I think about part 6, script writing, I get asked about script writing all the time. And to help me answer questions about script writing, I have brought in George Blackman, a remarkable scriptwriter who's worked with clients like Ali Abdaal, Noah Kagan, and Mike Shape. He's been responsible for over 25 million video views. He teaches scriptwriting for a living, and now he's here to share that knowledge with you. How do you write a great script?
I think at its core, like the way I've tried to distill this into I have kind of like a writing system that I use and that I try and teach my students, and it kind of boils down to first of all, knowing who your audience is, that's really at the heart of all of it, is having a strong awareness of who you're talking to, and that is the most boring step, and it makes for a very boring start to a conversation about this, because it doesn't feel fun to create an audience avatar. It feels very marketing-y, very kind of corporate. But you do need to know who you're talking to, because it just makes the whole process of writing a great script easier, because it reduces the number of choices you have to make. That kind of overthinking that comes in when you're asking yourself, should I phrase the sentence like this or like that? Does my hook need to be 30 seconds, or can I shorten it to 10 seconds? How much proof do I need to show in my hook to get the audience